All right, hello again, everybody. This is Rich, and missing today is Hope. And it's only because she's at dance class and I have to pick her up in about an hour and a half. Anyway, so for those reasons, I'm going to do a quick live video just to kind of finish up a 1989 Pro Set retail box of 36 packs for Series 1. Now, obviously, the banger box of this series back in the day was Series 2, where you get your your Barry and your Dion and Derek Thomas rookie cards and whatnot. But this is from Series 1, and Hope and I have previously opened half of this box, and this box is one that made a mess because the wrappers have pretty much disintegrated in this box. So we've already done 18 packs in the past that we have posted. We're going to go ahead and just do the final 18, and you can see right there how the packs are already disintegrating just by setting them on our card stand here. So as a way to just kind of finish up this project, I can collate these together, send the doubles to my brother, and the rest I can have for myself. And we just kind of wanted to get through this. We've already done 36 packs for Series 2, and these are the last 18 for Series 1. And look at that. I mean, there's no really gripping and ripping. They've already kind of fallen apart on us. And at some point, I'm telling you, we're gonna scratch off these and see if we won. We've got all of them from all these packs. All right, let's go ahead and get started and see if I can do a video by myself without her help. I'm guessing I probably can't. Super Bowl 7, we have a ton of these. That's the insert card in Series 1. In Series 2, they give you the broadcasters, which is a pretty cool set. Series 1 is the Super Bowls, and look at that mess. All right, we got the private dancer, Keena Turner. Andre Waters, no longer with us. Nick Lowry, look at that leg. Thomas Everett. Doug Williams, Super Bowl 22 winning quarterback against the Denver Broncos. We had that 35-point second quarter. Jim Jeffcoat. We got Steve Sewell, would have been on the team that faced the Redskins. Will Wolford, remember the Bills back in the day, 4 straight AFC championships. Jay Novacek. Kind of remember him more as a Cowboy. Jason Buck, Dave Craig, Brad Edelman, Kevin Mack, along with Ernest Biner, part of that Browns backfield, and James Hasty. All right. And I mean, there's nothing to rip. It just falls apart. It's so funny. All right, Super Bowl 10. Don't know if we have that one. We got a lot of doubles of these cards. Put 10 over here. Jerry Burns. Got Tony Casillas. Jim McMahon won Super Bowl 20. Stick him just over to the sides. We have something on both sides. Ron Stark. This set loved punter and kicker cards. Sam Weiss, the Bengals. Unfortunately, he watched Joe Montana drive down the field and beat his Bengals back in the day. Super Bowl 23. Ron Meyer, coaches cards galore. Raymond Berry, Hall of Fame wide receiver. Steve Young, another Hall of Famer. And the Hall of Famers just keep coming. Jimmy Johnson, Hall of Fame hair. Absolute amazing hair. Bill Moss, Louis Lips, George Seifert. There's coach of the 49ers. That's Super Bowl 24 after Bill Walsh retired. Herschel Walker, still with the Cowboys. Dan Reeves. Gene Stallings. Freddie Joe Nunn, gotta love 3-part names. Tim Crumry. And then we close it out with Jacob Green of the Seahawks. 2 packs down. 16 more to go. Yeet that, as Hope would say. These are the back of these cards. Like I said, the plastic is just disintegrated. We got Super Bowl 8. And we'll go through and have Harry Hamilton, Tony Eason, Eric Crumrow, wow, Maurice Carthon, Kurt Warner, not that Kurt Warner, Jesse Solomon, Andre Bruce. He was a #1 pick, was he not? Yeah. drafted in the first round. Richard Dent, legend. Bill Brooks. Jim Scow, tackling that guy right there, Jim McMahon. Mickey Schuler. Johnny Rembert. Keena Turner again. And Andre Waters again, we saw in an earlier pack. All right. 1989 Pro Set Football Series 1. And you just see how it is just, those packs are a goner. Super Bowl 8 again, which would have been the Dolphins beating the Vikings. They won back-to-back Super Bowls, 7 and 8. Tim McGee of the Bengals. Freeman McNeil. Doug Smith. Charles Haley. Randy Wright. Don Majkowski would eventually kind of take over there and lead that team to some wins for a couple years. Another pack of 1989 Pro Set Series 1. And you don't have to put forth much effort to open them up. Super Bowl 7. Those undefeated Dolphins. Reggie McElroy. Jeff Fuller. Mike Rozier. Rulon Jones. Ken Rutgers. Chris Miller. The red helmets of the Black Falcon. Dan Henning. Ronnie Harmon. Leroy Irvin. Bruce Matthews. We got Lomas Brown. I met him when he was with the Browns. And he was a lineman for them. And Tim Couch. It was Tim Couch's rookie year with the Browns. We interviewed Lomas Brown about Tim. Tim went to the University of Kentucky. That's kind of where I'm from originally. Phil Simms won Super Bowl 20. Kirk Loudermilk and Dexter Manley. All right. Hope does do a good job. This isn't easy. Holding this up. I like it when she picks them up and lays them down for us, and we have fun discussions about players, and occasionally we might have a hit. Another Super Bowl 7, that is not a hit. There's Jay Novacek again. We got Jason Buck, Dave Craig, Brad Edelman, Kevin Mack again, James Hasty again. John Frank would retire after Super Bowl 23, and I guess he became a doctor for years with the 49ers. Alan Pinkett, Vance Johnson. The key receivers for those John Elway teams when he would struggle to win Super Bowls, but they would win AFC titles. Tim Harris, he would travel around. John Settle, Jamie Holland, Andre Reed, and Henry Ellard of the Rams. Andre Reed, let's just stick him over here. All right, let's see how we're doing here. Another pack. Just Super Bowl 9, Steelers Vikings. Steelers won that, and they would win again the next year too. Hanford Dixon, Kyle Clifton, Mike Kofer. Probably missed that one. Reggie Roby. Oh, ballet. Look at that. That is fantastic. Simon Fletcher. I mean, they say so when you see the side of his helmet. I like that. I like that better than the Cyber Horse. Good logo. Brent Fullwood. David Little. Dennis Gibson. Shane Conlon. Ron Brown. Ray Childress helping Joe Montana up. He should. If he knocked him down, get him back up. Thank you. James Jones. Kevin Ross. And Joey Browner. Oh, looking fierce. I'm coming for you. All right, another pack. I mean, these are, I don't even know. I mean, this is like, are we missing cards here? Like, that is just a mess. It's kind of why I didn't want to sentence her to having to do this again. She remembers the mess the last time we opened the first half of the box. All right, Super Bowl 10. That's the Steelers winning against the Cowboys. They would also beat them in Super Bowl 13. We got Kent Hall, Kevin Green, Drew Hill, Jerry Ball, Neil Smith, Hammy and Son. We're doing good. I got to pick up the daughter, Hope and Faith, at dance at 5:30. So I was sneaking in 1989 Pro Set Football Series 1 because we just wanted to get through this darn box. You don't realize how much 36 packs are until you try to rip through them. We had done half of this box a couple months ago when it was still football season. Now we're just trying to set build. Super Bowl 7, they love to give that card to you. Buddy Ryan, Albert Lewis. Oh yeah, see right there. Yeah, we do it all. Hope takes 2 dance classes, 2 ballet classes, and Faith, a little bit younger daughter, she does it all. Tap, jazz, ballet, hip hop, point. So they love the dance. That's cool. Good to hear. Mark May, Steve Pallure, Sammy Winder, Marv Levy, legend. Oh, just never had a smile after the final game of the football season, though. Losing the 4 Super Bowls, that's not even nice. Nico Noga has wrapped up Roger Craig. Oh my gosh. Yeah, son does some swim. My sister and her daughter and her son are big swimmers back in Indiana. My sister swam in college along with her husband. So we got the swimming angle too, so that's awesome to hear. Thank you. Brian Millard, Dalton Hilliard, Clay Matthews, Reggie McElroy, and Jeff Fuller. And keep the kids busy. It keeps them out of trouble. That is for sure. So it's awesome to have activities to stay off the phone for at least a few hours a day, right? Morton Anderson, Brian Brennan, Dave Cadigan, Harris Barton, H, called him H. Now that's the guy that Joe Montana told, hey, H, look down the end zone there. That's John Candy. That's a great story from Harris Barton on that winning drive against the Bengals in Super Bowl 23. John Offerdahl, Keith Bishop, John Anderson, Hardy Har Nickerson, Chris Spielman, outstanding. Oh, it's Jim Kelly. Teams up with Andre Reed on more than a few touchdowns. Greg Bell, Alonzo Highsmith, Gary James, and Stephon Page. And it's the playbook card. As I said, we're going to scratch them off, and at some point, we might win. Offerdahl was a beast. My brother, Jeffrey, who will contribute videos to this channel, is a Dolphin fan. So he's big on those guys. Ronnie Lott, legend. Very nice. To see him in any other uniform is an absolute crime. And it happened. Lindy Infante, probably about to get fired. Lloyd Burris. Brian Hinkle. Ricky Sanders. Eugene Lockhart. Bud Carson. I mean, we've come a long ways with the headsets. Bruce Smith. Oh, you can't hold him. Robert Awalt, David Fulcher, Brian Blades, Bobby Hebert, Ernest Biner, and Bobby Humphrey, and Bruce Smith. I mean, this is a really good first effort for Pro Set. They ended up going bankrupt, I think. I got a ding corner up there. So it goes from 5 cents to 3 cents. I mean, it's just amazing how these are just disintegrated. And these were, I think, Super Bowl 7 again. Wow, the collation of the Super Bowl cards is pretty awful. Nick Lowry, they love kicker cards. We mentioned that earlier. Thomas Everett, Doug Williams again, Jim Jeffcoat, Steve Sewell, Will Wolford, Jay Novacek again, Jason Buck. I've got Dave Craig, Brad Edelman, Kevin Mack again, James Hasty, John Frank again, and Alan Pinkett. The stack continues. And as I mentioned earlier, Series 2 is the one you want. We open a full 36-pack box of Series 2. Got a couple Barry Sanders. Never got a Deion Sanders. That was kind of depressing. Harry Hamilton, Tony Eason, Eric Crumrow, Maurice Carthon again, Pull a Packer. Okay, well, we did. We had Lindy and Fonny. Yeah, but he doesn't count. Kurt Warner, Jesse Solomon. Are there any Packers in here? Andre Bruce again. Richard Dent. You like Richard Dent? No, not if you're a Packer fan. Bill Brooks, Jim Scow, Mickey Schuler, and Johnny Rembert. We did have the quarterback for the Packers at the time, but he ended up losing his job to Don Mikowski. He had kind of that magical 1989 year, right? A little bit. They won some games. Yeah, no one cares about the Bears. Derek Burrows, Jerry Gray, Steve Brown, Jim Arnold, another punter card. Mark Atticus, really? Oh, Joe Jacoby. Oh, we skipped one here. Steve Jordan, Tim Brown. Nothing wrong with that. Ron Rivera, yeah, whatever. Wes Hopkins, Brett Perryman, and Lionel James to go with Donald Igwebuike. Say that 3 times fast. And then Doug Flutie. Wow. Get your Nugenics, him and Frank Thomas, and get you a good deal. Yep. No. Doug can go over there. 3 more packs remaining. It's just awful. All right, get rid of these. Shocking. Super Bowl 7 again. We got it. They won 14-7. Bart Oates, Chris Dolman. There may be no Packers in here. Monty Coleman, Matt Millen, Keith Van Horn, Randall Cunningham. Oh, he was fun. Fantasy football, the early days of playing that. Enjoyed having him on the team. Steve Cordy, Vincey Glenn, Harry Hamilton, Tony Eason again. There's him again. Maurice Carthon again. Kurt Warner, the running back, not the quarterback. And Jesse Solomon. So we're getting lots of players from the NFC North that aren't Packers. Or whatever they call that division before they changed all the darn names. Super Bowl 7 again. This is crazy. Alvin Walton, Bill Bates, Cody Reason, Fred Smerlas, Tim McDonald has the ball. E-I-E-I-O. Lewis Billups, Norm Johnson, kicker card. Morton Anderson, legend. Brian Brennan, David Cadigan, Harris Barton again, John Offerdahl again, Keith Bishop. There we go. There's a Packer. John Anderson. I don't even know who that is. Don't even know who that is. And we're going to put him over there. All right, 2 more packs. Wow, they are going to be so mad that I messed up the kitchen table. Shocking. Super Bowl 7. Kelly Stauffer, Tom Newberry, Mike Gann, Dennis Gentry, Pat Beach, Eric Thomas, Al Toon, Mike Wiltshire, Ronnie Lott again. There we go. We don't need a coach card. Another Packer. Just what we're looking for. Okay, that's criminal. You can't put Infani over Ronnie Lott. That's a bad. Can't do that. Lloyd Burris, Brian Hinkle, Ricky Sanders again, and Eugene Lockhart. I think we have 1 more pack left. Yeah, 2024 Topps Heritage high number is more exciting than this, for sure. Super Bowl 9, Steelers Vikings. Yes. Steelers won. Chris Miller, Dan Henning, Ronnie Harmon, Leroy Irvin, Bruce Matthews, Lomas Brown again, Phil Sims, Kurt Loudermilk, Dexter Manley, Don Mosbar, Steve McMichael, and he's in rough shape. Mike Rickenbach, Jim Mora, playoffs. Jim Mora's great. It's just fantastic. All right. Saints could play some defense. Their offense wasn't really all that great. And they had 1 good year with Dalton Hilliard, I remember, where they were hard to stop. Ralph Moshenko and Bruce Hill. Wow. All right, well, that pretty much does it. We've made it through the box. I now can put these in number order with the other ones that we ripped and see how close to a full set we got out of these Series 1 and Series 2 boxes. So, but thanks for watching, and hope we'll be back. We're gonna rip some Heritage high number, I think, this evening, and post videos at a later date. And then we'll kind of go from there, see what we have laying around. So thanks for watching, and enjoy the NFL draft next week.